right now on 15 News Now.
And I'll let you know how hot we'll get on your Tuesday.
NSA leaker Edward Snowden is on the run. Also, migratory birds in Florida are tweeting a sad song these days. And daring aerialist Nick Walinda completed an historic 1,500-foot tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon. 15 News Now starts now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
NSA leaker Edward Snowden is on the run and is seeking political asylum. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 15 News Now, he's hopscotching across the globe on his way to Cuba, and he's en route to a possible asylum in Ecuador. Meanwhile, U.S. officials are scrambling to stop Snowden before more top-secret information is leaked. Charlene Israel reports.
Edward Snowden continues to evade the long arm of U.S. justice. Over the weekend, the U.S. asked Hong Kong to arrest him and begin the extradition process. But Hong Kong officials said there were problems with the legal documents and allowed Snowden to leave for Russia, despite having had his passport revoked.
What's infuriating here is Prime Minister Putin of Russia aiding and abetting Snowden's escape. The bottom line is very simple. Allies are supposed to treat each other in decent ways, and Putin always seems almost eager to put a finger in the eye of the United States, whether it is Syria, Iran, and now, of course, with Snowden. That's not how allies should treat one another, and I think it'll have serious consequences for the United States-Russia relationship.
A spokesperson for Putin says Snowden's arrival in Russia was unexpected. The U.S. demanded Russia expel the fugitive and warned other countries not to let him travel through.
What Snowden has revealed has caused irreversible and significant damage to our country and to our allies. This is an individual who is not acting, in my opinion, with noble intent.
Today, there's growing concern that the former NSA contractor will publicly reveal more damaging information or even pass it on to America's rivals. Snowden says he's traveling with 4 laptops full of the country's most sensitive secrets.
I had access to, the full rosters of everyone working at the NSA, the entire intelligence community, and undercover assets all around the world.
Despite warnings from the U.S., neither Russian or Cuban authorities are expected to stop Snowden from flying through on his way to Ecuador.
Charlene Israel reporting for 15 News Now. Trayvon Martin's mother is asking for members of the public to pray for her family as opening statements begin in the trial of the neighborhood watch volunteer who was charged with fatally shooting her son. Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, said Monday that she didn't want any other mothers to have to go through what she is experiencing. She spoke just minutes before opening statements were set to start in George Zimmerman's second-degree murder trial. Zimmerman is pleading not guilty, claiming self-defense. In a 2-part news series, the local convenience store has been closed for at least 31 days for violating Perry's spice ordinance. The Perry Code Enforcement Board cited the store, Star Mart, and suspended their business license. Detective Sergeant Gene Franklin explains what the term spice is.
It's a term that's categorizing stuff like synthetic cannabis, bath salts, stuff like that is what the term spice is categorizing.
Franklin says that this is a local ordinance, however it can violate state statute. He explains how Star Mart got caught.
After the ban went into effect, we notified all the stores inside the city limits that this stuff was illegal and that they did not need to sell it anymore. We confiscated a lot of synthetic cannabis and bath salts during that first time from a lot of the stores, and they were warned. They continued to try and sell it. We conducted undercover operations and bought the synthetic cannabis, which is in violation of our city ordinance.
This is not the only store closed in Perry because of the issue. The Country Kitchen was also closed for a time being. In Tuesday's edition of this 2-part news series, we find out the effects of spice. Florida Farm Bureau President John Halblick expressed the sentiments of farmers and ranchers across the state in laminating the failure of the U.S. House of Representatives to pass a new farm bill. The measure was approved with bipartisan support after 2 years of hard work by the House Agriculture Committee. In a statement, Halblick said, quote, I am deeply disappointed in the decision of the U.S. House not to pass H.R. 1947, the 2013 Farm Bill, end quote. Florida Farm Bureau is the Sunshine State's largest general agricultural organization with more than 147,000 member families representing farm bureaus in 60 counties. Well, now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. And Dustin, what can we expect?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. A chance of isolated thunderstorms throughout the evening hours and continuing to be on the warm side. 86 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 down to about 82. And then we're dropping off into the 70s and clearing those skies out a little bit by midnight. Temperature around 77. Will we see clear skies for your Tuesday? I'll let you know coming up in your Storm Tracker weather forecasts later on.
Coming up next on 15 News Now, migratory birds in Florida are tweeting a sad song these days. That story coming up only on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
Migratory birds in Florida are tweeting a sad song these days, according to a report released by the National Wildlife Federation. Birds living from the state's mountains to the sea are in danger, and scientists say climate change is largely to blame. Manly Fuller of the Florida Wildlife Federation says extreme weather and hotter temperatures, most notable along the more than 1,100 miles of coastline, are to blame.
In a sort of a historical natural context, it's known that seas rise and fall and the shorelines have moved over time, but all the projections are now are greatly accelerated.
The decline in the bird population can also impact the economy. Nationwide in 2011, more than $54 billion was spent to watch wildlife, and $4 billion was spent on birdseed alone. Here in Florida, the risk extends to several marine birds, including red knots. Fuller says the loss of shoreline and wetlands is directly impacting the reproduction of many species.
Oftentimes you get a lot of shoreline disruption when you armor a coast to protect the built-up areas. The birds essentially get caught between the rock and the hard place.
Longer summers and shorter winters are also impacting most of the birds studied because of the time they have to reproduce and the amount of food that's available. Numerous scandals have quickly come and gone for the Obama administration, but Senator Rand Paul says the common thread in all of them is that bureaucracy and the presidency now have too much power.
And I'm starting to think that their public relations ploy is to displace one scandal with the other. But really, if you say, what is the nexus? What intertwines all of these scandals? It's really a government that is drunk on power. It's a government that has allowed so much power to gravitate to the presidency and as an extension to the bureaucracy.
When Paul arrived in Washington, he said that he thought he'd be part of writing the laws, but he quickly realized that bureaucrats are now the ones doing that. He cited Obamacare, which was a 2,000-page law, pointing out that 20,000 pages of regulations have been added to the bill by bureaucrats. Police fatally shot a gunman during an early morning confrontation in a Cape Coral neighborhood. Officers were called to the neighborhood around 2 a.m. Monday by residents who saw someone with a rifle walking down the street. A short time later, a 911 caller reported shots being fired. Police arrived and gunfire erupted again. Police say the gunman died at the scene and no officer was injured. Up next on 15 News Now, daring aerialist Nick Wallenda completed an historic 1,500-foot high tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon. 15 News Now, we'll be right back.
Health insurance update. This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014. Leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the Health Insurance Hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
Daring aerialist Nick Wallenda completed an historic 1,500-foot high tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon in just 22 minutes on Sunday. He's the first person to cross the canyon, and he did so without a tether or a safety net. The 34-year-old is a seventh-generation high-wire artist, part of the famous Flying Wallenda circus family, a clan that is no stranger to death-defying feats. Back in the 1970s, his great-grandfather, Carl, fell to his death during a performance in Puerto Rico. Several other family members, including a cousin and an uncle, have perished while performing wire-walking stunts. As a devout Christian, Wallenda sees his talent and desires to perform as a gift from God. The 3-year-old daughter of an Apoca police officer drowned in a backyard pool over the weekend. The girl drowned shortly after noon on Sunday. She was rushed to Florida Hospital South, where she died shortly afterwards. Authorities have not released the family's identity. Orange County Sheriff's deputies say the drowning was accidental, but remains under investigation. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are investigating after a 30-year-old woman was found dead inside her home. Deputies say the woman's ex-husband was dropping their child off Sunday night. When no one answered a knock at the door, he entered the home. Deputies say the man saw evidence of a crime and called 911. Deputies found the woman's body in her bedroom. They say there were signs of trauma. An autopsy will be performed. Personal information of teacher preparation program participants was exposed on the internet during a transfer of data between servers housed at Florida State University, the entity performing work under contract with the Florida Department of Education. During the transfer in late May, FSU's Florida Center for Interactive Media moved the data to a new server but failed to enact security measures to restrict access to only authorized individuals. For a period of 14 days, personal information of about 47,000 preparation program participants was publicly accessible. The university and the department are notifying through all possible means any individuals whose information may have been exposed.
And I'm Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Dustin Kopp. Summer's in full swing. I'll let you know how hot we'll get on your Tuesday.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Currently we have a cloudy sky with some thunderstorms out there. 88 degrees is our current temperature, but look what it feels like. 93 with current dew point 70, 55% humidity, and a southwest wind at 5 miles per hour. We will be continuing to see those isolated thunderstorms off and on. Hot and humid times continue as well, and it looks like summer is definitely sticking around. Here's our forecast throughout the area. Hot and humid times over the Perry and Big Bend area. We are going to see that possibility of some isolated thunderstorms, a big chance of isolated thunderstorms through most of southern Florida, but we will be seeing that chance of isolated thunderstorms throughout the day on your Tuesday. This evening, though, we will be seeing those isolated thunderstorms at 7 p.m. with temperature around 86 degrees, 82 by 9, and then clearing out by midnight, temperature 77. Forecast for tonight, Chance of those thunderstorms isolated in nature, 72 degrees for overnight low, with a south wind switching to a southeast wind about 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow, isolated thunderstorms continue, 92 degrees for our daytime high. Looking ahead the next several days, it's a continuous broken record of those isolated thunderstorms off and on for the next several days. Temperatures in the low 90s for most areas. On Wednesday, though, in the mid-90s, but then we're back into low 90s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then by next Monday, we're dropping off into the mid-80s. Definitely a much-needed cool down here in the Big Bend. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website, WSFD15.com.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
It may not sound romantic, but a little pre-planning can head off a lot of grief in marriage. Dr. Meyer, with some practical tips in today's Focus on the Family, tells us why.
I'm Stacy Johnson. New research suggests that these sunscreens can not only keep you from getting sunburned, they can prevent aging of your skin. But that doesn't mean you have to get burned when you go shopping. For the best deals on sunscreens, see what's just ahead on Money Talks News.
No marriage is problem-free, but as Dr. Bill Meyer explains in today's Focus on the Family, there are ways to minimize problems.
Did you know that before it snows, fir trees actually retract their branches, reducing the weight of snow they'll have to bear? Basically, the tree anticipates the problem beforehand. In marriage, we can do the same thing. We can't avoid problems, but we can prepare for them.
The greatest danger is for couples who naively assume that they're not going to have problems, not going to have conflict, because then they're blindsided by it.
Preventing problems in marriage means anticipating trouble spots and talking them through ahead of time. Karen and Terry Egan have a unique method for identifying issues that need attention. For many years, they've written a letter to each other every day.
It's important when you can take 10 minutes out of your day to write something to your spouse. It's not necessarily always a tender feeling, it's sometimes not a good feeling, but we're taking the time to share.
It's become a good device that we have developed to better understand the feelings of our spouse, in particular on a certain subject, whether it might be listening or maybe even subjects such as matters with our family.
You know, when you write a letter, you have time to really think about what you're saying. You're not just responding emotionally, you're not just reacting to a statement.
What kind of issues could cause conflict in your marriage? Common trouble spots include money, sex, kids, in-laws, and different expectations. If you can improve communication on these topics, you'll be way ahead of the game.
If we don't stay in tune with where we're coming from on a daily basis, we can't handle the big things.
Into every marriage, a little snow will fall. Anticipating the storms and preparing for them will help your marriage weather anything.
Dear Karen, it's such a joy to my heart to be able to be a part of your life.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
Dr. Meyer says preparing for problems is especially important for engaged couples. Premarital counseling can really help smooth those first few years. For more information on life's issues, relationships, and family, visit our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the Focus on the Family link. It's time for fun in the sun, and for many people, it's also time to break out the sunscreen. Money expert Stacy Johnson shows us how to buy the best sunscreen for the money.
I think most of us thought that sunscreen is going to last all day just because it has a high number on the box. but just because it has a high number on the box doesn't mean it's going to protect you for that long.
Preventing painful sunburn and potential skin cancer is easy. Just ask dermatologist Dr. Valentina Bradley.
Avoid the sun between 10 and 2. Apply your sunscreen 30 minutes before you go outside. Reapply it every 2 hours that you're in the sun. And if you're in the pool or in the water, you have to reapply as soon as you get out.
A recent study shows daily sunscreen use can help prevent skin aging and skin cancer by blocking harmful UVA and UVB rays. When looking for a sunscreen, choose one with these features.
I would recommend broad spectrum, SPF 50 or higher, water resistant and sweat resistant.
Good sunscreen certainly isn't hard to find, but here's something really important. Sometimes the stuff that's the most expensive isn't necessarily the best. Consumer Reports reviewed 12 sunscreens and found the top product to be the Target store brand, Up & Up Sport SPF 50 spray at $1.16 an ounce. It was the best for value. Walmart Equate Ultra Protection SPF 50 lotion. It was the cheapest at 47 cents an ounce. Copperstone Water Babies SPF 50 lotion at $1.38 an ounce. Walgreens Continuous Spray Sport SPF 50 at $1.33 an ounce, and Hawaiian Tropic Sheer Touch SPF 30 lotion for $1.38 an ounce. Bottom line, protecting yourself from the sun, essential. Burning a bunch of money to do it, not so much. For more information, including the specific brands we recommended, go to moneytalksnews.com and just do a search for sunscreens. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Want more information? Just go to our website at WSFD15.com. Click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. You just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
This is Sports Zone.
Justin Ruggiano hit a leadoff homer to get Miami started and cap the game with a two-run shot in the ninth to lead the Marlins to their 10th win in their last 11 games in San Francisco, 7-2 over the Giants on Sunday. Nathan Eovaldi held the Giants in check in the 7th inning, and Marcell Ozuna hit an RBI double and solo homer as the Marlins bested Matt Cain and a struggling San Francisco bullpen. The defending World Series champion Giants dropped 3 of 4 at home to the team with the worst record in the National League, scoring just 8 runs in the 4 games. James Loney hit a tie-breaking 2-run single with 2 outs in the 7th inning, and the Tampa Bay Rays beat the New York Yankees 3-1 on Sunday. Chris Archer pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball for his first win in 3 starts since June 7th, and the Rays earned a split of their 4-game series in the Bronx after the Yankees celebrated their 67th Old Timers Day. Fernando Rodney struck out the side in the 9th for his 15th save in 20 chances this season. Corey Prue had 6 straight birdies and shot an 8 under 63 in light rain Sunday for a share of the first round lead with Rod Perry in the PGA Professional National Championship. Prue, a PGA assistant professional at Manito in Spokane, Washington, and Perry, the PGA head professional at Crane Lakes in Port Orange, broke the course record on Sun River Resort's Meadows course. And that's the day in sports.
That does it for this edition of 15 News Now. Thank you for joining us. Dustin and I will see you tomorrow. Until then, God bless everyone.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.